Steve here with Half Dozen Customs. We're back out here for my 1 hour each night on this trunk lid. If you haven't been following along, we're building a 81 Monte Carlo, and we have this trunk lid here that was in really bad shape. You can't get new trunk lids for these cars, so we're saving this one. We put a coat of filler on it the other day, and now we're working on just getting that sanded down so we can get our next coat on there. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's get to it. Okay, we're going to switch over to the other side. You can see there's still a huge dent right here. Remember I told you there was two like basketball sized dents on each side. But you can see, you know, all the bare metal spots sticking through everywhere, like how out of shape, you know, this trunk lid actually is. You know, like the roof, I'm sure kids climbed all over this. I'm sure when Colleen was a teenager, you know, they climbed all over it. You know, I know stuff was piled on this car. It's just as bad as the roof was, so I didn't expect anything different. And that is why we will be getting a new hood, because the hood is just as bad as the rest of it. But they make new hoods. They don't make new trunk lids. So let's get to sanding some more. Alright, I think we're going to call it a night there. We're at an hour right now. I'll make this quick. As you can see, I have a huge low spot right here. Low spot, low spot. You know, these are all low spots, but we have not started to break through bare metal yet like we have on this side. So we still have a lot more sanding to go. And we should be able to get a lot of that stuff out of there. This, we will not be able to get out of there. That definitely needs more. Okay, I'm back here for just a second. So, somebody recently commented on one of our videos asking me how often I oil my tools. Technically, you're supposed to oil them every day. And I use these tools every day, all day long, and I do oil them multiple times throughout the week. I probably should be oiling them multiple times throughout the day with how much I use them. But when we get too much oil going through these tools, and I'm, you know, I'm doing body work. I'm bare metal, filler, primer, stuff like that. It starts to splatter oil out of the tool all over what I'm working on. And that's you know, that's not good. Oil and automotive products do not mix. And I responded to him, you know, to the comment, you know, saying that I oil them throughout the week or whatnot, but I do not oil them daily. And that right there is the reason why I don't oil them as much as I probably should. We oiled him twice tonight while we were doing this because it kept freezing up. I was hoping that the oil would maybe help it not freeze as much, and it didn't. It was still freezing up on us, but it started splattering all over everything. So, you know, that's not good. That soaks into the filler, and then you have an oil slick spot there. Now, you know, this will get sanded down some more, so we'll sand that away, and it'll, you know, get another coat over the top of it. But it's still not good for it to, you know, absorb into the bare metal or get on the bare metal, you know, before you're putting filler on, because then you're going to be losing adhesion between the filler and the metal, and, you know, it's soaking into the filler is not a good thing. You know, when you go to prime it, it could cause fish eyes. So, you know, if you're watching, thank you for watching. Thanks for commenting. Sorry it took us, you know, so long to get back to you. I normally don't do the commenting. Colleen normally does the commenting. She's the editor. She's the one that puts all the videos together and does everything. You know, she works a full-time job throughout the day and then puts some hours in at night doing the editing. And, you know, she tries to get to the comments as quickly as possible. And some of the comments she has to, you know, she has to ask me, you know, what to comment because it's a question for me. That one was, she had asked me several times and, you know, I didn't get back to you in a timely manner. I apologize for that. But, you know, we're pretty busy around here. We do answer them, we just may be late. So please still comment and leave us some likes, and, you know, just keep an eye on it. We will respond to you eventually. So, all right, I'm out. Thank you. Have a good night. Put a fresh piece of 80 grit on our air file. We got this side ready for another coat. We're working on getting that side ready, and then we still have this back to get ready as well. So So, here's what we got going on. Low spot, which I pointed that out in last night's video. Low spot. If you go back in the videos or you remember watching the videos, I told you one side was worse than the other. So we got a low spot there, a couple little low spots there, a couple little low spots here. This is where our dent was, and as you can see, it still looks like a dent. I pin pulled that and got most of it out. But you can see where we still got a high spot there and a high spot there, and that's from this dent. Now, I don't feel them when I run my hand over them, so I think we'll be okay. You know, we got a little low spot there, and we did pretty good for having that patch down there. You know, that's not too bad. You know, if you remember that patch when we put in, as soon as we started welding it, like, it sucked in. And I just welded it. I couldn't get to the back side to hammer it back out. So we just welded it, and it was what it was. So for 2 coats, a Marglass coat or Duraglass coat, and then you know, a coat of lightweight filler, that came out pretty good. So I'm gonna mix up a little bit of filler. We're gonna coat all the low spots, and then that's it. We're calling it a night. So I'll be back when I got some filler mixed up. Alright, let's coat these low spots. Alright, just went and spread what was left on the Jeep. No wasting anything around here if I can help it. It's one good thing about having multiple projects going on at the same time, is that you don't have to waste product like that when you mix a little too much. Usually I try and mix just the right amount, but when I know that I have something else that needs filler work around here, it doesn't really matter. I don't have to try and baby it. So, but anyways, as you can see, we have all of our low spots coated. But we coated all those low spots last night. Let's get them sanded down. Alright, I don't know what you guys got to see. Somewhere in there, the camera so rudely shut off on you guys. But we got it all sanded down. No more low spots. Everything feels pretty good. You know, running my hand over everything. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not straight. It's not, you know, it's not ready for primer. I've explained in other videos, like, normally how I do it is I coat everything, sand it down, and then it shows me where all the low spots are. And then we coat the low spots, like we did, and then you sand all that out. but you can feel a difference between like our first coat and our second coat. Like that actually right there, that's kind of funny. That needs to be sanded more, which was part of this whole coat here, and I can feel that there's actually a lump there. But you know, I mean, it's close. Like, if the car wasn't going black, you know, I think, you know, I think we'd be okay to prime it other than this spot. But the rest of it, I mean, like, you know, it kind of, it gives you, back to what I was saying, like, you know, when you coat the low spot like that, then, you know, you're sanding down that coat, which is then sanding down the stuff that we sanded yesterday, and you're sanding more of this off as you're sanding this off, and then you know, you're uncovering stuff that you know was buried in the filler, that you couldn't feel yesterday. So, you know, it feels good, but you can still feel the, you know, the waviness in it, the lumpiness in it, whatever you want to call it. So now, you know, from this point, we'll throw one more coat over it. A glaze coat would be nice. If you've ever heard or used glazing or icing, that would be awesome for this. But that stuff's really expensive. It's like $45 for a quart. That's enough to do this trunk lid. So, you know, kind of pricey. I pay less than that for a gallon of my filler, so we just put another coat of filler on and we'll sand 90% of it off. But by the time I'm done with that, it'll be straight and we'll be ready for primers. So, just came back for a minute. I told you that there was a like little hump there that I was feeling, and I just ran over it real quick with this to knock it down. It's actually a low spot right here, and tomorrow when we do this, we're gonna have to set this up a little bit differently, because what had happened was the stand was pushing up on the trunk lid, and we sanded it, and then when we came down here and started sanding this, it slid it on the stand, and the metal came back down, and now we have a low spot where that stand was sitting. So I've explained that in other videos. Actually, I think it's the Jeep video, which hasn't been released yet, but it's of me doing the hood. And I was running into this same issue, that where the hood was sitting on the stand, it was pushing the metal up when we were trying to do the body work, and it just did the same thing to us. I don't feel it over here. I only feel it here. I think there's enough product here that we can sand it and fix it, but that's what I'm feeling. So, you know, keep that in mind. If you have a stand that's pushing up on the metal underneath, it will screw up your body work. So, all right, see you guys later. Again, goodbye. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. So we left off yesterday with getting this all sanded down. I should have coated this morning so that we could have sanded it down tonight, but me working on this during the week is kind of, I don't know, I would say against what I normally do. So, you know, me working on it in the morning and then working on it at night, I just don't feel comfortable doing that. So, we're gonna get it coated now. I have some filler out and some hardener on it, and we're gonna mix it up and get it spread. You know, hopefully this will only take us, you know, 15 minutes, and then we will be back tomorrow to sand it down. So, all right, let's get to it. So we get it spread out nice and smooth. Hopefully this is the last of it. What I mean by that is, after this gets sanded down, we'll be ready for primer. Stop touching it. Stop touching the wet paint. Takes a lot of filler to get that coated, and I'll sand most of it off, but she should be straight when we're done. Back out here for a few minutes to start sanding on this. It's Saturday night. I keep checking my watch and it's dead. But we're gonna start sanding on this. I probably only got like 15 or 20 minutes or so that we can spend on this. So not gonna get much done tonight, but we'll get started on it. So let's stop talking and let's get to it. All right, it's looking good. We still got some more sanding to do. I want to take as much of it off as I can. So until we start to see that we're breaking through in some more spots to either the filler below or, you know, some bare metal. I do see a couple of spots that are starting to darken up, so that means that we're getting close to those, you know, those areas. And then, you know, maybe we'll throw a thing of guide coat over it, and block it out again and just make sure that we're nice and straight and flat and whatnot. But, you know, not bad for, I think we spent, 25 minutes on it, maybe 27. So anyways, see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy your weekend. And yeah, we'll be back. Remember, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. I'm out.
Oop.